To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
Good afternoon, Ghana. It's 12 o'clock. Time to reach for mobile water. Mobile water, unique in every way.
30 years of joyfulness. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. Hashtag Galamsey still on. The Midday News is live on Joy 99.7 FM, hits 103.9 FM here in Accra, Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, myjoyonline.com. We are also live in all 16 regions of Ghana via our various affiliates. We're live on ATL FM in Cape Coast, Gangai FM in Jirapa. We're live on X Spaces. We're on Facebook. The Midday News is supported by Petrol Soul Platinum Energy, energizing dreams. This afternoon, minority in Parliament escalates concerns over Speaker's suspension of three of its colleagues to its national party as it prepares to engage the Speaker, whose decision they describe as completely illegal.
MPP Minority Caucus is a wing of the MPP in Parliament. So we have also communicated this matter to party headquarters. National Chairman, the General Secretary, and the National Executives have become aware of this, and they take the matter seriously.
Also in this edition, police launch investigations into football hooliganism after a Kumasi Asante Kotoko fan was starved to death in Inswatre in the Bono region.
I am on my way to the police station to see what is happening there because the police commander has invited us.
The incident has sparked widespread condemnation over systemic violence in Ghana football, a sector with vast economic potential.
This is simply intolerable, unacceptable, and condemnable. And this is coming from an Accra House of Folk supporter.
Meanwhile, a former football administrator says the Ghana Football Administration cannot escape blame for the incident.
So what are we going to say to Nana police family? Because all those years ago where people have died, they have been forgotten. We have to get serious as a nation.
There's more in sports.
Well, there's more on that story because the Ghana Football Association has suspended the ongoing Ghana Premier League season following the death of a football fan during the match in question.
You want to stay for details of that. Also, the Environmental Protection Agency swings into action, confiscating 3 excavators along the Offin River in strict enforcement of its ban on illegal mining in water bodies.
There's a lot at stake. So you can see the pit behind me. This pit, we need to reclaim the land. We need to rehabilitate the water. You see a clear pollution of the water.
We are live on the ground, and much later in the bulletin, President Mahama reveals his childhood dream job. Details as he shares how his father's incarceration after a coup deterred him from considering a career in politics.
At one time, I wanted to be a fireman because I liked their uniform, the red fire trucks they used to drive. Then another time, I wanted to be a state transport corporation driver because you sit in the car from Tamale to Accra, the way he's driving, and it looked nice.
We have that and more in this afternoon's edition of the Midday News. I am Emefa Apawu. Please do stay on for details. This is your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Let's dig in now. We start off from Parliament, where the minority there say they have escalated their concerns regarding the decision by Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbing to suspend 3 of its members to the National Party and will fight it to the end. Majority Chief Whip Frank Anodompre, one of his deputies Jerry Ahmed Shaib and Hassan Tampoli have been suspended for 2 weeks for their role in the disorderly conduct witness at the Appointments Committee last Thursday. Addressing a news conference in Parliament, Minority Leader Alexander Hwenyomakin says the NPP takes a strong exception to the Speaker's decision and will fight it.
We believe that the right thing to do is to grant these affected members hearing. We have also taken the matter up. We have escalated the matter to our party level. MPP Minority Caucus is a wing of the MPP in Parliament. So we have also communicated this matter to party headquarters, national chairman, the general secretary, and the national executives have become aware of this, and they take the matter seriously. They are not taking it lightly at all. They believe that the diplomatic channels must remain open. But we want to say this with emphasis. This mighty few, this happy few, will not allow itself to be intimidated. We will never surrender to any intimidation. All the issues that are being thrown at us are aimed at cowing us. None of it will work. For the records, this is the first time in the history of our Fourth Republic that a minority in Parliament is allowing a government to appoint its ministers in record time.
Well, the minority leader also explains that he has been unsuccessful in reaching the speaker through the weekend, but expects to meet him today to express their strongest opposition to his decision.
We believe that Mr. Speaker will be in the office. We believe that we'll be able to see him and take our discussions further. Meanwhile, as a responsible caucus, we are going to ferry our concerns in a memo to his office. And we believe that that would even form the basis for the discussion. We don't know how to treat Mr. Speaker's communication, whether it's a ruling or communication properly so-called, because there is a provision in the orders where if there is a motion or a matter comes to the fore, Mr. Speaker rule on the matter. And if there's a ruling, then you would have to rely on the rules to also challenge his ruling by filing a motion. That's what the rule says. But this is similar to the matter of Dr. Tuforsen on the vacant seats, where he relied on our orders to say he was raising a matter of national interest. I'm sure you may recall that when the matter went to the Supreme Court and all, Mr. Speaker said, he only delivered a communication. He shared an opinion with us.
That's Alexander Afenyo-Marking is the minority leader, Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante sat through the press conference, joins us on the line. Kweku, let's talk about representation of MPP national executives at this particular press conference. What can you tell us?
So while this news conference was happening in Emefa, the national chairman of the party, Stephen Ayesu, team, together with the general secretary, Justin Kudia's response, one being, and actually stood behind the minority leader as he spoke to give blessings to the position that the side have taken as regards to the decision to suspend these 4 MPs. And in fact, those 2 MPs, some of them were in attendance. In fact, Hassan Tambuli was there, the chief whip himself was there, and his deputy, to drum home the point that is made, that this is not a suspension that they believe is legal, and this is the position they are going to fight. And they talk about specifics in terms of what they believe the order
of emphasis, orders 129 and 130, reading them together with orders 30 to 35, even where there are contempt proceedings, which would trigger a breach of privilege, and by extension, the need for certain actions to be taken. A committee must be set to look into this. On this occasion, Mr. Speaker was dealing with a disorderly conduct which took place at the committee level, where the chairman of the committee had a mandate to deal with the matters. He now says that he has, on his own, suspended these members without hearing them. The chair of the committee did not communicate anything to the speaker. Neither did the speaker invite any of us in leadership for any discussion. In any event, even where there is punishment, our rules are clear. It can be for 4 days, 8 days, or 12 days according to Order 130. Can a judge shoot a thief on the streets merely because it is viewed that the person has stolen without taking him through the process of evidence gathering.
Well, Kweku, sorry we lost you earlier, but did the minority say what they specifically intend to do about this?
Jennifer, I'll say this specifically. The last time the Speaker did take a decision that affected the rights of their members, they did head to the Supreme Court to challenge that decision. They say this time around, that is not a decision they want to take for now. They want to engage the Speaker first, and ultimately, if he does not appear, then they will take further legal steps as is their right. But for now, they want to meet him. And in fact, just a while ago, I saw the Speaker's convoy driving, which means he's going to be in his office. And then if the minority leadership together with their party leadership intend to engage him, then perhaps there will be that opportunity for that engagement to take place.
Well, that's Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante there, and definitely we'll be following up more on happenings there. But last night, the minority leader was my guest on The Probe, where we discussed wide-ranging issues regarding the recent happenings in Parliament. Mr. Apawu mounted a strong defense of his line of questioning during the vetting of ministerial nominees, insisting he's not using the platform to settle scores. The minority leader has been criticized for asking too many questions, which some say deviate from assessing the competence of the nominees and instead focuses on whitewashing the image of the former president.
Before I vet, I check people's background. I have to look at your persona, your CV, look at your track record in Parliament. Have you raised controversies? Because the thing is supposed to come under Article 78, which you already qualify. So I have to look at other issues. Now, Sam George, I call Sam in the presence of another senior member of our party. I said, Sam, you know what? You made certain disparaging comments. You denigrated Akufo-Addo. I beg of you, I expect you that when you come, those ones that you went in excess of the regular behavior expected of an MP, at least accept that you could have done better. But watch again Sam's posture. I felt that my brother could have done it better. So I sit there, watch you, insult him, and go away. No politicians will do that. Now let's deal with Mr. Ablakwa. Before his vetting, ask Ablakwa whether we didn't sit as brothers. I said, Sammy, there were things that you went overboard. I think if you make concessions, we'll be fine. Is that okay? Meanwhile, I was aware that this is Aura, guys, have been flying drones in Winneba on my property.
Well, on the controversial subject about his membership of the Freemasonry, he insists the Masonry is not a cult.
I think that many people have misconception about Freemasonry. So hear me on this and quote me any day. 1, Freemasonry is not an occultic society. 2, Freemasonry is not a secret society. Freemasonry is not an antichrist organization. I am a Christian and I will not join a society that is an antichrist society. Those things you watch on TV, they say occult, taking blood, doing those religious things, that's not Freemasonry.
That's the minority leader, Alexander Apawu. The full interview on The Probe is available on all our social media platforms. Let's turn our attention to some other stories now. And this afternoon, a large-scale investigation is underway into acts of hooliganism at a Ghana Premier League match between Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Nswatreman FC over the weekend. The violence escalated at the stadium, leaving one Kotoko fan stabbed to death and several others injured. The Ghana Football Association has condemned the incident and directed a security committee led by DCOP Lydia Donko, along with FA prosecutors, to immediately begin gathering evidence. Member of the Kotoko media team, Stephen Owusu-Bwedi, witnessed the horror.
In the first half, there were incidents that some of our players, that Kotoko, deserved yellow cards for their act on the field. Some tackles deserved yellow cards. The same way Swatreman also deserved yellow card for some tackles that occurred. But the referee refused to caution any of such incidents. So just after the second half, before the incident which was recorded on video, so just 2 minutes after that, there was a foul against Kotoko, and our player gave the ball to the opponent and request to turn and then defend. He was hit at the back. So his colleagues saw the incident and all rushed to the scene, and they were pushing each other. But the reason that escalated was that the referee had failed to show hearts in the game. So tempers were boiling at that point, and that incited the supporters, the whole fans, to throw stones, bottled water, things onto the field, giving a heavy hit on my right ear. Now I'm going to the hospital because I can barely hear something.
What happened to your right ear? See, what happened?
I was hit from behind. I was sitting down. As part of my job, I take photos, smash photos, and I was just sitting there, and I had a very heavy hit on my right cheek. So that was when I turned, I saw the supporters jumping in, and then they took my camera, hit it on the ground. At the same point, I saw the broadcasters, their camera person being hit with stones, and he had to jump from that height to save his life, and I had to find a cover at our bench, and we were there when one supporter jumped in with a machete.
What?
And we told the police, look at, can't you arrest him? And the policeman told us that if he arrests, then everything will get out of one. To the point that that policeman was running for cover at our bench. So it was during that process that our medical team, a fan of our team, came to our bench. He said that one of our supporters has been stabbed. So our medical team members had to leave the pitch and go and attend to him. When they got there, this gentleman was in the pool of blood, and the ambulance there, we couldn't find the driver.
That's Stephen Osubwedu there sharing that horror on the Super Morning Show. A member of the Nswatreman FC board, Alphonse Agbechite, also tells us his side.
First of all, we did not prevent Kotoko Timbers from entering the safe zone because in GFA's wisdom, they asked every club to provide a safe zone for team buses. So when Kotoko bus was coming, there were some heavy bird men in another car following the bus. So we allowed the bus. When the bus got there, 1:35, then the bus was allowed in. But they were followed by the heavy birdmen. So I was called. When I got there, they were inside the safe zone. They wanted to enter with their car. And then the supporters also didn't want them to enter with that car. By that time, the bus was inside. So when I got there, they said that car have to enter. Then I asked, whose car is that? They say they are stewards of the club. They are guiding the club. So I told them, we don't allow stewards to come to safe zone. It is only the team bus that have to come to the safe zone.
That's Alphonse Agbechi said there. Some fans have also been sharing their views. We'll hear from them shortly. But a former football administrator, Herbert Mensah, has blamed the Ghana Football Association for failing to prevent the violent scenes that led to the tragic death of that fan. Listen to his views.
The state of football in Ghana is already at an unacceptable low. We cannot have governance issues like this. It is too late to invoke Article 14.2. Yes, it must be done. But what is being done beforehand? Most of us, when we were in club management, we knew what to expect. We heard the wrong utterances on radio. We saw the instigation of supporters at various points. Surely the FA themselves must take greater responsibility, re-inspection of where we are. I advocated these things years ago to prevent the kind of violence that we were seeing in those days, which should not be occurring today. Home teams have an obligation. The administrators have an obligation. The FA have an obligation to raise the standards. We cannot have this. What are we going to say to Nana police family? Because all those years ago where people have died, they have been forgotten. We have to get serious as a nation. We really must. We must stop reacting to the chaos that we've allowed to occur and be seen to be stronger in what we do, and to match that strength with a greater desire, a greater vision as to how it is that we can emerge from where we are.
That's Herbert Mensah. He's a former football administrator. Of course, he was with Kotoko as well. We can hear some football fans condemning the incident.
I think the first thing we have to do is to learn from them, because even when the Black Stars are playing, even the local leagues, we could see that brought us together. But recently, you go to the field and then you are even scared of your life. So I think if there is something that they are not doing right, we should go back to it and then reinstitute all those things so that we can make Ghana football very attractive like it was previously.
When they get best coaches, they can do better, because coaches know their job. Yeah, so like as I support Arsenal. So Mikel Arteta is, let me say, one of the best coaches in the world. Yeah. So when you get some coaches like him, they can do better to move forward.
Okay, well, I think the security should be tightened a bit. That's what I think. Because looking at what happened yesterday, it's nothing to write home about. So I think the security should tighten up. So investors too can come in and help. Because it's really bad.
What I'm saying is that we should take away politics from Ghana Premier League. The pitch too. They should also put something in the pitch to motivate the Ghanaians to watch the matches.
To make it attractive is if our leaders, they say is it GFA whatever, if they put their efforts and some money in it, that can make the Premier League adorable. We all will follow it. I think that is all.
So it needs a new brand image.
Well, Victor Achutamaklo is in the studios. There's a lot happening when it comes to this unfortunate incident at Nswatreman yesterday. Well, what is the latest that we are learning, Victor?
Well, apart from the earlier things we reported, which is that the Ghana Football Association has charged both clubs for failing to keep their players in check. Nswatreman have also separately been charged for failing to keep their supporters in check and for stopping the GFA cameraman from carrying out his duties. This morning, the GFA has also called an emergency meeting scheduled for Thursday, February 6th, with all 18 Premier League clubs. They say that the meeting is primarily to focus on addressing security concerns and other related matters. It is to discuss stadium safety, fan behavior, and emergency response protocols. The GFA has also told Joy Sports that irrespective of the outcome of that meeting, it will not affect their decision to suspend the Ghana Premier League. And they have since communicated that suspension. They say it is aimed at creating space for them to engage with relevant stakeholders and discuss the ramifications of the violence, which has, as we've told you, has now claimed the life of Francis Frimpong, who only got married on the 25th of August last year. So that's essentially what the Ghana Football Association has done. For the clubs, Kotoko and Nswatreman, who were charged for breaching various provisions of the Premier League 2019 regulations, they have between 48 working hours to respond to their charges.
But generally, what's the talk amongst the football people when it comes to this particular incident?
Well, the football space, the football people, as they like to call themselves, are often tight-lipped in these matters. But what we do understand is that they will show up for Thursday's emergency meeting. Some of them take a dim view to the reports that have been circulating about Nswatreman's intention to withdraw from the Ghana Premier League. We've checked with the Ghana Football Association. They have told Joy Sports that they have not received any letter from the club. So at this moment, we have to treat that as merely a rumor, because the organizers of the competition say they have not received any letter to that effect.
Okay, thank you very much, Victor Achutamaklo. Usually would have said that's just sports, but it's not a good day, of course. But before we go for a break here on the Midday News, I'll take you live to Parliament, where the committee that was set up to look into the suspension of the MPs, we're told that they've just created a WhatsApp platform to collect evidence from the public. Emmanuel Kwesi-Bejra is currently addressing the media. Let's listen in.
Report in findings and recommendation. To do this, the committee wishes to announce that we have decided to hold a public hearing of all the issues starting from Wednesday here in Parliament House at 10 a.m. prompt. We shall expect members of Parliament, the media, the guests who were present at the vetting room, as well as members of the general public, to voluntarily appear to assist the committee with the relevant information on the incident. The committee has created a digital platform, a WhatsApp platform, where we shall receive multimedia evidence, including videos, audio, and text, to facilitate a speedy execution of the committee's tasks. This, I will give the number, and for those who are interested in sending us evidence either by video or any evidence that they have, we send it to the clerk, to the committee on 0244 926 911. The number again I want to repeat. Anyone, either from a media house or individuals who were there, who want to send us videos, audios, or any text on the incident, please send it to the clerk of this committee on 0244 926 911.
That's the Whole West MP, Emmanuel Kwesi-Bejra, the chairman of the four-member committee that's been set up to look into the misconduct of the MPs on that Thursday night that has led to the suspension of 4 of them. We'll take a quick break here on the Midday News. Our top story so far: minority in Parliament escalates concerns over Speaker's suspension of 3 of his colleagues to its national party as it prepares to engage the Speaker, whose decision they describe as completely illegal. We return from the break. We join the Environmental Protection Agency as they swing into action, confiscating 3 excavators along the Ofin River in strict enforcement of its ban on illegal mining in water bodies. And later, President Mahama reviews his childhood dream job.
At one time, I wanted to be a fireman because I liked their uniform, the red fire trucks they used to drive. Then another time, I wanted to be a state transport corporation driver because you sit in the car from Tamale to Accra, the way he's driving, and it looked nice.
Where did I? Now I don't know when you just saw.
Obiang, what's the chrome? Ain't you want to say petrol for your energizing drinks for motion? Hey boy. Petrosol are celebrating their 10 years in grand style. They're giving back to their loyal customers. Hope you have registered at their online portal. Don't say I didn't tell you.
Each month, customers will stand a chance of winning items like tricycles, motorcycles, television sets, refrigerators, phones, fuel vouchers, and many more. But the best part is that at the end of the promo, we will be giving out a grand prize of 2 Suzuki Espresso cars to lucky winners who stay with us all through the promo period. All you need to join is to visit any of our over 100 stations across the country to get registered, or go to www.petrosolcrm.com to register online.
Petrosol, energizing dreams.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Let's focus on food and prices this afternoon. And Ghana's food inflation has refused to come down in the last 6 months. Year-on-year inflation rate for January 2025 has risen to as high as 28.0%, with food items such as yam, beans, okra, and many others recording rates above 72%. Lead analyst, data analyst here at Joy News, Kofi J. Minta, joins me in studio with details. What exactly do we know?
Well, Emefa, so the headline figure is 28.3, but if you go into the details, you see certain food items recording rates above 70%. Now, beans has an inflation of 84.6%, dried peppers 82.1%, yam has an inflation of 72.9%, and in fact we are seeing dog meat again featuring in the inflation with 59.7%, and maize has an inflation of 48.5%. So the headline figure is 28.3, but if you go into the details, there are certain items with inflation above 50%.
We'll definitely dig deeper into this during news tonight. Thank you very much, Kofi. Now, the Environmental Protection Agency has seized 3 excavators along the Ofin River, reinforcing its stance against the destruction of water bodies. The operation over the weekend comes amid heightened concerns over the devastating impact of galamsey on water sources. My colleague Nana Yaojima has more.
The EPA issued a directive last month ordering the cessation of all mining activities within and along water bodies. It further indicated preparedness to seize and prosecute persons acting contrary to the directive. Checks by the EPA revealed persons perpetrating the illegality at Pasro tributary of the Ofin River continued to mine despite the order, though the miners were absent at the time of the visit. 3 excavators and other equipment used in the mining operations were mounted at the site. According to experts, the pit is newly dug for the mining activities. CEO of the EPA, Professor Nana Ama Brown Kluche, expressed disappointment at the spate of destruction.
When we came, we didn't find the miners on ground, but we have seen the level of distractions that has happened here. We've seen also not just the gold mine, there's also sand winning in this area. There's a lot at stake. So you can see the pit behind me. This pit, we need to reclaim the land. We need to rehabilitate the water. We looked at the water, the color of the water. You see a clear pollution.
That's Professor Brown Kluchi, Executive Director of the Environmental Protection Agency. They're ending that report. And it's time for M&J. I have S&J in the studios. And well, Mama has been talking about what did you want to become when you were a child?
Oh, for me, I wanted to be a doctor, you know.
Oh,
lazy things.
Listen to what you wanted to become.
The name of God, glorify Him, and pray so that He will use you as His instrument. And for me, that has been my faith, because if I look at my career trajectory, several times I've wanted to do something. After when I was young, it was funny. If you ask me, what do you want to be in the future? I didn't say I wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer. At one time, I wanted to be a fireman, because I liked their uniform, the red fire trucks they used to drive. Then another time, I wanted to be a state transport corporation driver, because you sit in the car from Tamale to Accra, the way he's driving, and it looked nice. And so other people, you ask, what do you want to be in future? I want to be a president. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a doctor. No, me. But in my career trajectory, God has kept pushing me in the direction that He wants me to go.
Nice. Well, so we know. But
I'm a little emotional.
Why are you emotional? I wanted to be a soldier, but my height didn't permit me. So what's up?
Yeah,
Grammy.
The Grammys just ended, and after every Grammys, there's always something small somewhere. Either there's drama or someone's dress caught someone's eyes. Yes. So this time it was Bianca, Kanye's wife. I don't know if you've seen the video.
It
was like a net. She's the only one who can tell. And I heard he styles hair, so it created a lot of.
He always styles
So he.
I know, right? Every time I think that's a signature style.
But Thames,
a big win once again for Nigeria. Last year, Nigerians called out Grammys, and officially Thames has a first ever. I mean, she got one, but it was as a result of collaboration. But this time around, yes, and
well
also
deserved.
Well deserved.
So this is it, right?
Yes,
let's
that's
go.
it. Right.
To myjoonline.com. You want to stay with hits 103.9 FM. There's more in entertainment. I am Emefa